Hello everyone, this is the laws of motion part 3. See students, in laws of motion you have to prepare first of all Newton's laws of motion, number 2 force of friction, number 3 uniform circular motion. So students, in our today's topic is uniform circular motion. Say with me, uniform circular motion. Please put heading in your copy, uniform circular motion. Students, see first the name, uniform. Uniform means speed remain same or constant. Uniform means speed remains same. But if the body moving in a circular path, then this motion is called uniform circular motion. So students, what is called uniform circular motion? When a body moving in a circular path, when a body moving in a circular path, when a body moving in a circular path with a constant speed, with a constant speed means uniform speed, with a constant speed means uniform speed, but the direction of velocity changes with respect to time, means direction of velocity changes continuously. Direction of velocity changes continuously. Direction of velocity changes continuously. And if velocity changes, means you can say it's an accelerated motion. It's an accelerated motion. As because of velocity, direction changes every time. So you can say it's an accelerated motion. And you know, for circular motion, you need a force which is called centripetal force. Centripetal force. Centripetal force. Because you know acceleration related. So acceleration involved means there must be some force, and this force is called centripetal force. Okay. So write down in your copy what is called uniform circular motion. When a body moving in a circular path, when a body moving in a circular path with constant speed, but the direction of velocity changes every time continuously, but the direction of velocity changes continuously. In bracket you will write accelerated motion. Accelerated motion, then this motion is called uniform circular motion. So this is a motion where speed is constant but still accelerated. The body is still accelerated because a force involved, and this force name is centripetal force. See students, there are some examples of uniform circular motion. Number 1, suppose this is your sun and this is your very beloved earth. This is earth. This is earth. Earth revolving round the sun. Earth, 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 earth. Earth revolving round the sun. And if you draw the velocity, direction of velocity, see here. If you draw the tangent direction of velocity here, if you draw the tangent direction of velocity here, and if you draw the tangent direction of velocity here. So every time the direction of velocity changes continuously. And if you draw the force, the direction of force in this direction, direction of force in this direction, and this force called centripetal force. This force is called centripetal force, and the name of the centripetal force is the gravitational force. Gravitational force. The name of the centripetal force is called gravitational force. So this force always directed towards the center. This force always directed towards the center. So what is called centripetal force? Centripetal force means if the force always directed or pointed towards the center is called centripetal force. Okay? Draw. Next drawing is, suppose earth revolving around the sun. Another example of centripetal force is like suppose this is nucleus. Yes, and electrons revolving around the nucleus in different orbit in different position. So here also if you draw the velocity, the direction of velocity changes every time, but the acceleration or the direction of force, the name of the force is called Electrostatic force, yes, electrostatic force, Fe, and is always directed towards the center. So the force which always are directed towards the center, the force which directed towards the center is called centripetal force. Centripetal force. You know the formula of centripetal force, I think. Fc equal to, Fc means centripetal force, mv square by r. See, there is a different form of centripetal force. Number one case, the centripetal force name is gravitational force, in form of gravitational force. For electrostatic, its name is electrostatic force. Whenever electrons revolving around the nucleus, then electrostatics force. Another example you can say, like if you have a rod and there is a ball or bob rotating in the horizontal circle, okay, horizontal circle. Now you can say there is a force of attraction, and you do you know the force of attraction? The name of the centripetal force is, the form of centripetal force is, yeah, tension, always directed towards the center. So here the name of the centripetal force is tension, which is equal to mv square by r. R is the radius. Here also R is the radius. Here also R is the radius. So mv square by r. Here is a different form of centripetal force. Here gravitational force. Here electrostatic force. Here tension. We can draw another example. Like suppose an insect. Yes. Now suppose an insect. Okay. Insects. This is an insect. Okay. Insect crawls up in a hemisphere up to this. It can crawls up to this, okay, suppose, and then it falls down. So the radius is r and the angle is alpha. Now the position of the insect here. Now please you tell me, here is the centripetal force in this direction, am I right? This is the direction of centripetal force, am I right? Direction of centripetal force. Now you tell me the form of centripetal force is. See students, here the centripetal force, the form of centripetal force is called normal reaction, or R, normal reaction R. So you can see there is a different form of centripetal force. Okay? Okay. These are the examples of centripetal force. Now students, our next topic is, what are the differences? You know there is a two type of force. Whenever a body revolving round the circle or round the circle in a circular path, then there involve two types of force. Number one is called centripetal force. Number two is called centrifugal force. You know, student, both the force formula mv square by r. The name is centripetal. Another is called centrifugal. It is, what are the differences between centripetal and centrifugal? Centripetal and centrifugal. Students, centripetal force means the force which acts towards the center. The force which acts, number one point, the force which acts towards the center. Centrifugal means the force which acts away from the center. The force which acts away from the center. Away from the center is called centrifugal. Students, centripetal force, you know, whenever the body revolves, across a circular path, then the force is called centripetal, means it helps to revolve, it helps to provide the circular motion. So this force actually need for the circular motion. Okay, but centrifugal, when you apply centrifugal force, suppose you it is a rod and you rotating a ball like this, and suppose you break the rope, then what happen? It will ejected outside, it go outside. So this force, you revolving it, and suppose you want to cut it, okay, and whenever you cut the rope, then what happen? The ball goes out of the center. So there is a force involved away from the center, and this force is called centrifugal force. The formula remains same, mv square by r. The formula remains same, mv square by r. So centripetal force means the force which acts towards center, centrifugal means away from the center. Next point, very important, listen very carefully. Centripetal force is real force. Real force. But centrifugal force is pseudo force or virtual force. Virtual force or pseudo force. So students, why centrifugal is virtual force and why centripetal force is real force? Suppose you revolving a ball with the help of a rod, and now the tension actually providing the centripetal force. The formula is mv square by r. Now there is a reaction force. There is a reaction force which provides the radius so that the ball could maintain a proper circle with the help of this radius. So there must be a reaction force which is called centripetal reaction force. Centripetal reaction force. So there must be a reaction force which is outside, away from the center. Centripetal reaction force, and this is the centripetal force. Okay. So this is the reaction of centripetal force. Reaction of centripetal force. But this is the action. So every action, you know, there is equal opposite reaction. So in centripetal force there is a reaction force. Okay. But in centrifugal force there is a no reaction force. So it always act whenever, listen, students listen, centrifugal force always act when the body in a circular frame. When a body in a circular frame. Circular frame means it's an accelerated frame. Circular frame means accelerated frame. And in last video I already discussed that whenever a body in an accelerated frame, then this frame is called non-inertial frame. Non-inertial frame means accelerated frame. So whenever a body revolving round the circle and the body in a frame, the frame is an accelerated frame. Am I right? The frame is an accelerated frame. So in accelerated frame there must be a force involved, and this force is called pseudo force or virtual force. So centrifugal force acts in non-inertial frame when the body in a rotatory system or a body in a rotating frame. So whenever a body exists in a rotating frame, whenever the body exists in a rotating frame means accelerated frame, means non-inertial frame, then there acts centrifugal force. There acts centrifugal force. But centripetal force acts both frames, inertial as well as non-inertial. So centripetal force acts inertial and non-inertial, both frame. But centrifugal force always act in non-inertial frame. Non-inertial frame. I think you understood the differences between centripetal and centrifugal. Okay. So our next topic is very important. That is defined type of circular motion. Defined type of relation between circular motion and linear motion. Now we want to map with linear motion with circular motion. See students, linear motion with circular motion. So you can write the next topic, relation between linear and circular motion. Relation between linear and circular motion. Suppose we have a circle like this, and this is the radius. Suppose the body moving from this position to that position with angle theta. So this is the arc, you know that students. Suppose the body moves very small distance, so we can write d theta. Suppose the body moving from this position to that position with making small angle d theta, and this is called the arc ds. So you can write, students, ds. ds means the linear. So we actually mapping the linear with circular, so linear here, ds equal to r into d theta. Say with me, r into d theta. R means the radius, d theta means angular displacement. R means radius, ds means arc. Arc means linear. This is the linear, this is the circular. This is for the linear, this is for the circular. This is for the linear, this is for the circular. This is for the linear, this is for the circular. Now differentiate with respect to time. Differentiating with respect to time. So ds by dt is equal to r into d theta by dt. So ds by dt means linear velocity v. Am I right? ds by dt means linear velocity v is equal to r. d theta dt means omega. So v equal to r omega, or you can say r cross omega. Okay, omega cross r. Generally we can write omega cross r. Okay, v equal to omega cross r. It's a cross product. You know, whenever there is a cross product means the circular. So this is the linear velocity, and this is called angular velocity or angular frequency. Unit rad per second. Okay, and unit rad per second, and this is called radius. Okay, so this is the angular velocity or angular frequency, is called linear velocity. Understood? So this is the relation between linear with circular. Understood? Next, your job to find the acceleration. Now your next job to find the acceleration. Okay, so please write it down. Pause the video and write it down. Next, acceleration. See, again I will use the previous formula, v equal to omega r. So differentiating dv with respect to time, differentiating v with respect to time. So dv by dt is equal to d r fixed d omega by dt. Okay, plus, see, in multiplication you can differentiate it like this. First r fixed d omega dt, then omega fixed dr dt. You can write it first. Okay, so r d omega dt plus omega dr dt. Now you tell me, dv dt means everything is in vector form. dv dt means acceleration, and this acceleration is called linear acceleration. This acceleration is called linear acceleration, is equal to r d omega dt means alpha plus omega dr dt means velocity. So students, here we get two terms of acceleration. Okay, and you know what is called alpha? Here alpha means angular acceleration. Okay, omega means angular velocity, v means linear velocity, r means radius, a means linear acceleration. So students, you can see there is a relation between linear and circular. This relation is called circular relation. This is called for the linear acceleration. Now here involve two things, two types of acceleration. Number one, r alpha, and number two, omega v. Okay, number one, r alpha, and number two, omega v. Now students, you know Here r alpha means this is for the centripetal acceleration. This is for the centripetal acceleration. So you can write r alpha means ar means rotational acceleration. Okay, and this is for the tangential acceleration because omega cross v means tangential acceleration. So this is the acceleration form. So if you want to find that, now see ar always perpendicular to at. This is the rotational acceleration and this is for the tangential acceleration. This is the tangential acceleration. This is the tangential acceleration. This is the rotational acceleration. This is the main acceleration. So ar perpendicular to at. It means you can write a, the value of a is equal to root over of how much? Ar square plus at square. So if you put the value, then you will get the acceleration. Okay. Copy. Pause the video and write it down. Now students, our next topic is to prove the centripetal acceleration. Students, you tell me what is the value of centripetal force? Fc. Centripetal force formula m v square by r. Okay. So students, you know force means what? Force means mass into acceleration. So student, force means mass into acceleration. So mass here common, but v square by r term must be acceleration. Okay. So to form the dimension of force, v square by r must be acceleration. So this acceleration is called centripetal acceleration because the force is called centripetal force. So centripetal acceleration is equal to v square by r. Now we going to prove the centripetal acceleration is equal to v square by r. Centripetal acceleration is called v square by r. Centripetal acceleration. So proof that centripetal acceleration equal to v square by r. So our next job to find, or this is a very important question for your exam, students. So write down, proof that centripetal acceleration, proof that centripetal acceleration of this or centripetal force equal to m v square by r. For that students, we apply polar coordinate. New thing, polar coordinate. Okay. Suppose this is a circle. This is your y-axis. This is your x-axis. Now in polar coordinate, take a point P here. The distance from 0 to P is called r. R means the radius. And here is the angle theta. Now students, you know, along x coordinate we can write x equal to cos theta. And theta means angular displacement. Angular displacement means angular speed into time. Okay. So you can write theta equal to omega t. Why? Angular displacement. Theta means how much displaced with or by the angle. So this is called angular displacement. So displacement means what? Velocity into time. Velocity into time. So x equal to cos theta. Velocity means here angular. If there is an angular displacement, you can write angular velocity with time. So you can write in place of cos theta, you can write x equal to cos of omega t. And similarly, y equal to sin theta or y equal to sin omega t. Now we can write r as a vector form is equal to xi plus yj. as a vector from xi plus yj. Put the value of sin omega t cos omega t here. So x means cos omega t, so you can write cos of omega t into I plus sin of omega t into j. What you need? Think. What you need? You need to find the acceleration. For acceleration, what you need? You need velocity. So differentiate with respect to time. Differentiating with respect to time. So dr by dt. dr by dt is called, yes, velocity. dr dt is called velocity. Velocity equal to cos omega t. If you differentiate cos omega t, means the suffix of t is omega. So omega come first. So omega, then cos means minus sin omega t and I hat as usual. Similarly plus, see, cos omega t, if you differentiate cos omega t, you will get minus sin omega t. Cos omega t you differentiate means sin omega t. And then sin omega t means again omega first, and then sin means cos omega t into j hat. Next, take omega common outside, and then you have minus sin omega t I plus cos omega t j. Now students, if you differentiate it again, so differentiating with respect to time again, then what happened? It will be the double differentiation. See students, d dt of dr by dt. It means you can write d2r dt square, or you can write dv dt, or you can write acceleration. So now you differentiate this thing. What you will get? So acceleration A equal to, again omega comes in front, so you can write omega square. Here already omega present, so again omega, every time if you differentiate, every time omega come in first, so omega square. Then sin means minus, sin means cos omega t into I hat, and cos means minus sin omega t into j. So minus omega square cos omega ti, take the minus outside, and this will be plus. So now you tell me minus omega square, and this term cos omega ti plus sin omega t, this term is called, see student, this term is called r. So you can write cos omega ti sin omega t j plus, here also cos omega ti plus sin omega t j. So this term nothing but r. Okay, are you agree with me? Yes. So you can write r. So acceleration equal to minus omega square r. So what you need? You need v square by r. So v square means, you students, you know, v means what? V means, see student, v equal to omega r. So omega means v by r. Omega means v by r. So put the value here, minus v square by r square into r. So you will get minus v square by r. Now you can say that why minus? Here is the value v square by r, but in the calculation we got minus v square by r. So why minus? Students, suppose the body moving from this 2 point to that point. Now the radius always taken from origin to P point, means this direction. Understood? Radius always taken from 0 to this point, means that direction. But centripetal acceleration direction always opposite, means towards the center. Students, centripetal acceleration means towards the center. Am I right? Centripetal acceleration means towards the center. So radius and acceleration both opposite direction. Radius that side, acceleration that side. So radius and direction opposite side. So that's why for acceleration and radius, as because opposite side, that's why you can write acceleration equal to minus v square by r. If you multiply by m, then m v square by r, that will be your force, centripetal force. Student, please pause the video and copy. Okay? I think students, all of you understood this topic, and in next topic we will discuss about different types of centripetal force, means different type of circular motion. Students, in next video we will discuss about different types of circular motion. Thank you, students.